Hello, folks. It's the Podsquad with Susan Moffat-Thomas, Wendy Card, and yours truly, Kathy Morrison. We want to thank you for joining us for New Bern Now's podcast for August 12th, 2021. This is episode 194.
Imagine 194.
Yeah.
We are connecting you with the people, places, and happenings in New Bern and surrounding areas. So join in the conversation by commenting on this live stream on New Bern Now's Facebook page.
All right. But before we get started, we have a contest. Wendy has something super exciting, I'm sure.
Yeah, this is a humdinger here. This is what was considered North Carolina's year without a summer. What year?
Okay. All right. And where do folks put that answer?
They put it on this Facebook live stream. So,
okay.
And they got to guess during the show because we're going to give the answer around 150. So they got to get the answer in for a chance to win a gift certificate to a local business.
Okay. I really like it. Okay. So we're looking for a year that was the year without a summer.
Well, it was considered North Carolina's year without a summer, yes.
Okay, so we want a year for the answer. All right. So here we are again after another week, and what's going on? Susan, what have you got happening?
Well, I've got a couple of things. The crown and weather vane that we've regilded will go back on to its rightful place at the top of the steeple spire on Saturday morning. A crane will be there. The street will be blocked off on that block of Pollock Street. And so hopefully it will all go well. And by the end of the day or by noon, we'll see it sparkling there and just, be able to see it for miles, just gleaming. And we are happy campers, I tell you.
Well, that's an exciting Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, the crane will be there and whoever else to see that it's put in its rightful place. So, another mission accomplished and we're happy.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's another thing.
Can I just say something real quick? For those listening on the radio, because this goes on the radio too. So that's Saturday, is it the 14th?
The 14th.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Saturday
This
morning.
is going to be exciting, real exciting. Thank you so much for doing that. You and John. I know it's a lot of work. So.
And then I want to remind people about the New Bern Resolves. And this is an event on Saturday, August 28th. And it is being sponsored by the local chapter of the Sons of the American Revolution. It's an event that is honoring what happened 247 years ago when a group of brave citizens created a delegation. They represented 30 of 36 counties. And they met in defiance of the British Crown and the British Parliament. It was what we all heard in school growing up, taxation without representation. They put together 28 resolves, things that they found they did not feel were fair. They met at the intersection of Middle and Broad Street because the courthouse that at that point was in that intersection. Anyway, these 28 resolves were presented to the First Continental Congress and eventually led to the Revolutionary War. The ceremony is going to kick off at the Centenary Methodist Church at 10 a.m. on that morning. They will proceed to the corner of Pollock and Middle and assemble in the old original site of the church, the Christ Episcopal Church. And there will be a keynote speaker from the Department of Archives and History, Dr. Joseph Beatty, And then it'll conclude recognizing those 71 delegates. And then if there happens to be, which we hope there won't be, rain, the ceremony will take place in the Harrison Center, which is right across from the church. So anybody that loves history, or if they'd like their children to have a little lesson in history, since history isn't probably taught as much as we'd like to have it taught. Anyway, I hope people will show up, and this is the first time. They're hoping that it will become an annual event. So there you have it, folks, August 28, 10 a.m.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you for the update. Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
Yep.
Yeah, and all the information's on newbernnow.com, but it's not explained like you just did, Susan. So it's riveting.
I hope I did okay.
You did. I can't wait. It's exciting. Yeah.
Well, you've heard of the Halifax results, but the New Bern results predated that.
Pardon me?
Said you've heard of the Halifax results, but the New Bern results predated that.
Wow.
That's right.
And once again, New Bern was out in front.
That's right.
Those that paved the way. God.
Yep.
All right. Wendy, exciting stuff?
I do. Actually, I don't know if it's exciting. Well, one thing is exciting right here. This is Maya, a young entrepreneur that I met during the second annual Children's Business Fair down at the Craven County Fairgrounds. But she was, I can't remember, she's 3 or 4 years old. She's a young little entrepreneur. She was full of energy, and I just could not resist buying her piece of art here. So, and she's got all kinds of different, she had big canvases, and I just couldn't afford that. But I'm going to have, like, her piece is going to be worth something big one day. It's worth something to me just coming from her. So she's just so special, and I'm going to be writing about her, so you'll have all the information in the future. And so and this is our friend Lisa Bisbee Lentz's bear. So or Lisa Bisbee's bear. I apologize. Okay, so and there's one more announcement that I have, and it's we are reorganizing New Bern Now. It has taken on a life of its own, and I need to get it back under control. So, a lot of people are tagging us, and we just need to get back, regroup, and possibly add more members to our team. So, and also in the process, I'm going to New York to deal with Family Matter. And if you send us information, while I'm up there, I may not have an internet connection. So we may not be doing Zoom next week or the week after. Everything's up in the air. So, but we plan on returning to full operations no later than September 6th. Hopefully a lot sooner than then, but I just wanted to let you all know what was going on. So.
But can I just comment?
Sure.
People can still go to newbernnow.com and catch up on what's going on, right?
Yeah, I may not be publishing 3-4 articles every day. It's just, I need to step back, and it takes full mental power to be able to do what I'm doing. And I haven't taken any kind of breaks, and I can't remember when. So this will be a regroup, and I can't wait to start afresh on September 6th.
All right. We look forward to seeing what new and exciting things you bring to us on September 6th.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we will be publishing things, but it won't be on a regular schedule like we have right now. So,
okay.
And thank you everyone for your patience. Yeah.
All right. We'll be there waiting for you when you get back.
All right. And Kathy,
Right.
you got a lot. You always have something going on.
I've got a couple of things. The closest things for the New Bern Historical Society, the tomorrow night or tonight's Eddie Ellis presentation is sold out. So the folks there
Wow.
are going to have a really good presentation. Also, Jim Hodges' New Bern on the Move, scheduled for September the 12th, is also sold out. So that, and that, that is going to be a super presentation. The good thing is Jim has already agreed to an encore on January 9th. So
Wow.
watch this space, like they used to say, watch this space for information on when you can get your reservations to hear Jim on January 9th. And by then you'll have heard from everybody who sees it in September, and they'll all be telling you how wonderful it is, and you'll really want to go.
Yeah.
But those are the two immediate things happening. We're working on Ghost Walk, so we'll have some cool things happening for Ghost Walk. I know we're August and it's almost September, but Ghost Walk comes up in October, so watch for stuff like that, and we'll be telling you about it. And that's what I have for Historical Society.
All right. Well, Eddie Ellis was down in Havelock at the library, and it looked like that was probably sold out. So
and he's also going to speak on Friday for the Palace. So
yes,
you'll be able to see him there talking about the real start date for the Battle of New Bern, all the things that happened on the 13th instead of the 14th of March in 1862. So he's busy while he's up here. He's busy speaking for everybody. So you'll have a chance to see him again.
all right. Exciting stuff happening. So hello, Tammy and Craig. How y'all doing today? Do you have any shout outs? I'm not sure if you guys have or shared this stream, but if you're watching, as a reminder, the contest. Are you ready? What was considered North Carolina's year without a summer? If you answer it in this live stream on New Bern Now's Facebook page, you'll possibly win a prize. So,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
That's a hard one, though.
Yeah,
Wow. Did I stump both of you?
You did.
I'm sure Susan knows. I don't know. We'll see. Somebody out there should know, because you use the internet. Google.
Yeah, well, that's how I know, because I didn't know. I'm not from here, but I'll give people a little hint. I often, actually almost on a daily basis, I read a lot from the North Carolina Department of Natural and Cultural Resources. It's just
You're giving it away.
It's got
You're
some
giving it away.
All right.
But it is a great resource, though. Oh my gosh, talk about really interesting information. So,
but we have another great resource here in town, and that's Craven Arts Council. And
oh wow, are they in the waiting? Oh, real quick.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I think Rob Jones is
Does he have the answer? Don't say it out loud. Has he got it? Keep us in suspense? No? I don't know. I can't. All right. Do you have it?
Nope, I haven't a clue, but that's a first. Rob he does not know.
Okay.
It might be Marin or maybe both.
Okay.
Bring them on in. So.
All right, we'll see who we have. It's a special surprise person from Craven Arts Council. It's either Marin or Jonathan, and we'll see. Drum roll, who have we got?
Hey.
There he
Good,
is. Hey,
Jonathan.
How are you?
All right.
Yay.
Craven Arts Council, Jonathan, welcome.
Hey, how are you?
All right.
Yeah.
It was great seeing you yesterday, John.
Great seeing
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got good stuff happening out there?
Oh yeah. So we're gearing up for Art Walk. I know it's a couple minutes late hopping on because we were hanging labels and stuff so that we'd be ready for Art Walk, which is tomorrow night. And then Saturday is the Eastern Carolina Pottery Festival, which will be down near the farmers market. It's kind of a pop-up festival instead of the full indoor one. We couldn't really arrange that and stuff, but this one's just a chance for the potters to kind of sell their
Jonathan,
work.
is that one at the corner of Craven and South Front, or you mentioned Farmers Market, but
It'll be the corner of South Front and Hancock.
Okay,
yeah.
So it'll
Oh, okay, on that vacant lot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
okay.
Yep. So we've got potters signed up, and they'll come in and set up, and lots of locals mostly this year. But we're hoping to do the full festival next year, provided everything goes.
Does it run the same hours as the market? So all the folks that are going to the market can come and see the potters?
It's 10 a.m. to 5, although I'm sure the potters will be there earlier. They'll be setting up. We'll be setting up over there around 7 o'clock in the morning. So
Okay.
I'm sure there will be some of them there and available. So
Oh, good.
Very cool. And I was down at the Bank of the Arts yesterday, saw you and Marin, and a shout out to Ken Hess. He's doing the experimental film festival. So we did a little video, but you have all kinds of art on display. You've got the origami. What exhibit is that called?
So our exhibits are the Coastal Photo Club and the we've got Tracy Penrod in the back, but we've also got probably a couple hundred origami cranes right now, and that's in prep for our piece by piece project. So we've got community members out folding origami cranes out of a material called Tyvek, which is like a plastic paper essentially.
Mhm.
And that will be for piece by piece, which will be the, if you've ever noticed, there's a steel pole behind Crema Brew. It used to be an old billboard pole. So we're going to modify that to hang 1,000 origami cranes off of it.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yes, it is.
So I think we're still looking for a couple more people to fold. We have to get more of the paper, but if they're interested, they can sign up. And we're looking for sponsors too. So if anyone's interested in donating to the project, and it doesn't have to be a big amount, we'll take whatever people got. So
How long do you estimate it's going to take to hang 1,000 cranes?
yeah, so we're thinking that if we can get all the cranes back by September 30th, it'll take, we're going to dip them all into a resin to harden them as well. So we're thinking about a month later, end of October, we should be able to go ahead and go. That'll also be a day where we'll ask a lot of our volunteers to come out and help with the stringing process.
So they'll withstand the weather for a while if they're dipped in resin.
That's the hope, yeah, is that it'll be, we've thought a lot about hurricane season when we designed the parts of this, because there were certain designs we really liked that let everything sort of flow in the wind. But we decided with hurricane season that the lines will be secured at the top and the bottom, just so that they don't tangle or flail about or hit anything. So
Be driven by hurricane force winds into the buildings and things like that.
Exactly. That's a consideration here, unfortunately. Yeah. But
I'm visualizing something really neat. 1,000, origamis.
Yeah, they can go on our website and see sort of a quick rendering of it. We didn't render 1,000 cranes in it because that would take a long time. There's probably maybe 100 in the photo, but there's kind of a visualization on our website under the piece by piece tab, and they can kind of see what we're going for. So
how large are they when they're folded? And
so they're a little bit, I had a bunch on my desk, but I think they all went down. Oh wait, I got one. 1 sec. I got one right here.
Oh, we're getting a visual aid.
So they are slightly larger than a normal origami piece of paper is about 8 by 8.
oh, isn't that cool?
Our paper is 12 by 12, so it's not super big, but the bigger they get, sort of the structure kind of isn't as strong because you've got less folds in as tight a space. So structurally, we thought this was big enough to kind of be caught by the eye, but would be strong enough to withstand more pressure and stuff. And people are decorating them too. So
what a great project, Jonathan. That is very cool.
Yeah, this is kind of a test one, I think, from doing the instructions. So, but yeah, it's going to be a great piece.
All right.
Very nice.
And you have Art Walk coming up.
So that's Friday. Friday night is art walk. So.
You still there, John?
Yep. Yeah, I'm still here.
It's from 5 to 8?
5 to 8, yep. And we'll have our openings, Carolina Creations. I believe we'll have Chris Wagner over there and his work. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what everyone else has, but you know, all the galleries will be open, a lot of the downtown businesses. The last detail will be added on the next card. If you haven't seen the new place run by the Bisbees, but it's called The Last Detail over on Craven Street. They're not on this card because we didn't quite get it in time for print, but they'll be joining Art Walk as well.
Now, community artist gallery and studio, right? See, is that, yeah, they're
just a couple doors down, and they have some featured artists. Usually they have music and things like that. So.
Okay, and also, wait, one more, the Artisan Square.
So behind us, they've been working on kind of revitalizing that space. Vicky Vitale and Andrea Owens have put a lot of time and energy into that. So there's some murals back there, and Vicky's Studio 323B Creative, which she shares with Donna Slade and Martha. And then you got Andrea Owens at the Red Shoe, which is in the back next to the Brown Pelican. So they'll be in. And there might be some artists set up out there too. We're not 100% sure, but there's always a chance of that as well.
Right.
Jonathan, are you still doing a lot of welding?
Yeah, I teach. I just did a class Tuesday night, so I still teach. And I've got some personal projects that I work on. I'll be doing a 12-foot tall man soon out of stainless steel. So I made of butterflies.
Right now you have a approximately 6 foot tall man. Actually, it's a replica of you, right? At shop class?
Yeah, I do. It's just rods, just a bunch of what we call pencil rod or 1/4-inch rod stock. That's kind of a geometric self-portrait of me.
And they keep dressing it up. Like
Yeah.
I think last time it was dressed in construction, attire and if you haven't been to shop class over on Guyon Street, you have to. It's a community
It's a wonderful sport.
DIY workshop where you have the welding, you got woodworking, stained glass. Are they still doing
Stained glass? Yep. Window restoration for those people with historic houses. We've got the facility to restore historic windows. That piece I made of myself. It was made. All my work is made there now. That piece, though, we figured out a beer actually fits in the hand. That wasn't intentional. I swear it wasn't intentional.
By chance.
But it holds a PBR can just perfectly. We found out.
Will you put any of your work across the street on the lot that has other sculpture?
No, I don't have any of my work there. We try and have that, rotating. Each piece is there for about a year. Except for Tom Grubb's very large bamboo piece, which has been there longer. But we kind of want to keep that open for other artists because they get an honorarium, and it'd just be a conflict of interest for me to try and get my stuff in that space. But I'll probably have, I've talked with some local businesses about putting some of my work out, some of my big stuff. So maybe next year at some point.
Very cool. I have an art question, actually a sculpture question. When I was over at Broad Street Christian Church, I noticed besides the Unity project, they also have like in the corner, I think it's hands. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
What do you know what that is?
Yeah, so that was they have the labyrinth on the ground there. And when they designed the labyrinth, originally I believe they were going to have like in the middle inset into the ground, like a 3 foot across stained glass image of clasped hands. They're like this.
Right.
But for various reasons, they weren't able to do that. So they actually, we helped out with that. And we used alginate and took a mold off of someone's hands doing that. And then it's cast in resin, and then it's covered in what's called a frit, which is crushed glass. So that's kind
Wow.
of shiny and mounted
Yeah.
to a pedestal. Yeah.
That was very cool. I couldn't figure out like who to ask. I'm like, who do I ask? People, like, I put a post on social media, and not many people know it's there. So I think
Yeah.
it's important to
It
open your
just-
eyes when you're walking around town.
Yeah, I think it just got added in I think it was right before Father's Day or something like that. So it was pretty recent. And it was kind of on the fly.
Well,
The original artist couldn't do it, so we came in and just did it real fast for them. So we didn't even put a press release out.
well, it looks great. And yeah, we'll have to do a little video or something just to remind people it's there. And also you have the mum competition.
Mum's the word, we call
Mum's
it.
the word.
So it's I think it's open now on our website. If it's not, it'll be open shortly. But it's anyone can submit. They'll get their piece here in Bank of the Arts, and it's a show all about mums. It doesn't have to only be mums. There's lots of other cool things you can put in the photo, but the winner gets to be the featured artwork for next year's Mum Fest on the banners and T-shirts and things like that. Heidi DeBella over at CAGS won last year. So you'll see her work on the banners and everything that'll be coming out.
That's nice.
And starting with last year, we'll have a youth category. So we didn't design one last year, but we ended up with a lot of kids that wanted to enter. So we said sure, and Swiss Bear has added a youth division. They give a little prize out as well for that. So
That's really nice to bring the kids in.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, I have to say, I had mentioned it earlier, but the second annual children's business fair was a couple weeks ago down at the fairgrounds. And this young lady, Maya, she was like 3 or 4 years old, and she did that. I mean, that's only one of many of the different paintings she had, but I bought, different artwork from other young entrepreneurs, and the pitches they were giving were just phenomenal. I mean, I'm talking like 7, 8-year-old pitching their business to me, and I'm like, oh, wow, I need you on my team. This is crazy. You need to be my little salesperson, and I'll pay you like half because you're awesome. It was, these kids are just so incredible. But,
and we haven't, officially said anything, but just as a little heads up and sneak peek, we are planning to do some sort of call for art for April that will involve something to do with Earth Day or recycled materials or something.
That's
like
cool.
Something we haven't worked out all the details, but something like that will be coming. We'll probably call it lowercase e, uppercase A, uppercase R, uppercase T, lowercase h. So
very cool.
Earth with
You're
art in the middle.
Then we'll watch for Earth Art Day.
Yeah.
ER Day.
Yeah, Earth Day. That's right.
Yes. Okay.
Awesome. So is there anything we missed? We have another guest that's coming. So
That's all from me.
that's a lot.
Yeah. We're always doing lots of stuff over here. So
Well, we can't thank you enough for coming, telling us what's going on, because there's so much going on in the art world in New Bern. And I mean, you would think we were in a big city,
That's right.
in this little town, we've got so much going on. And thank you for all that you and Marin and everyone's doing at the Craven Arts Council and Gallery. And if what people want to find out more information, they visit
cravenarts.org or any of our social media accounts, or they can come into Bank of the Arts and ask questions.
All right. Well,
Great.
great seeing you again 2 days in a row. I'll
That's right.
see you tomorrow to make it 3. So
All right, sounds great. See you at Art Walk.
thank you
Take
guys.
care.
Thank
Nice
you.
seeing you, Jonathan.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. All right. Are you ready for the next person? Do you want to
Yeah.
ask your question again, or just go
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Okay. For people that are watching, thank you everyone for watching. We really appreciate it. We have Rob, Peggy, Judy, Missy, Stephen, Jamisha, Michelle, Carrie. Okay, one person, I think they may have the correct answer. I'm not going to say it.
I'm saying.
Okay, the question to the trivia question is, what was considered North Carolina's year without a summer? Okay, now we will bring in.
All right. Have we got Amanda?
Oh, we've got one more social media
Okay.
comment. We'll be with you real quick, Amanda. I bet a Brewtopia beer would look better in the sculpture. You're right.
The
Rob.
PBR.
Yeah. Okay.
Jonathan had. Okay.
And we have Amanda Delgado.
She's the new executive director of the Coastal Women's Shelter. And
Yeah, new-ish. She's been there for a couple months, I think, but thank you so much, yay, for joining us.
Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right. So you're new-ish.
New-ish, yes, definitely.
It's so glad to have you. And so tell us a little bit about you and what have you been in New Bern, or did you just move here, or how did you become the director over at the Coastal Women's Shelter?
So I've actually been with the agency for a little over 4 years. So I am not new to the agency. And I've been in New Bern for about, I think this will be 5 years. 5 years that I've been in New Bern. I actually started with the agency as an intern in the beginning of 2017.
Oh, and now you're the director. Good.
And now I'm the executive director.
All right.
That's wonderful.
So yes, thank you. And it all kind of just, I guess, fell into place how it was supposed to be, I guess we should say. But it's kind of it was a crazy ride to get here. Started as an intern, and then I became their education and prevention coordinator in the middle of 2017. Did that for about 2.5 to 3 years. And then I became the shelter director for a little over a year. And then the executive director position opened up. I applied for that and got the position.
Good for you.
So here I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
tell us about Coastal Women's Shelter in general, and how you connect with folks that need connecting.
So Coastal Women's Shelter, has been around for over 30 years. And it's a domestic violence agency, and we serve 3 counties. So we don't just serve Craven County, we serve Craven, Jones, and Pamlico. So we're a 3-county service provider, and our big thing is domestic violence. So we help any individual, so not just women, even though it's in our name, and we don't really have control over that because it's been the name for over 30 years. And there's a lot of things that go into trying to get the name changed. Trust me, we've tried many, many times. But we serve any individual that's going through a violent situation. So whether it be at home or a stranger violent situation, so you're walking down the street and a random individual comes up to you and attacks you, we can provide some support and services for that. It also, many people don't think about it, but also in the workplace. So violence in the workplace. We can provide assistance with that as well. And I've had a few cases over the years that I've had to go to court with individuals to kind of help them get a protective order so that their coworkers would have to stay away from them.
Boy.
Yes, I know it's, that's not something that we normally think about, but it does happen for whatever reason. Sometimes people just don't get the necessary help that they need, and then something kind of triggers them at work. And then some issues start to arise and they take it out on the closest person to them. So we're here really just to provide any service possible that we can to any individual that's experiencing a violent situation. Like I said, whether it be at home, whether it be at school, so teenagers going through that early dating life, we do provide services to them as well, whether it be at work or out on the streets. And our services are very, very wide variety. Wendy, you got a question?
No, that was gonna.
Yes, so we have a wide variety of services. So it can look very different depending on the client's situation. So if an incident happens, whether it be a physical assault, an individual can come into us and they can file for a protective order. So that would kind of involve some court advocacy. So our court advocates will go to court with them and kind of help them get a protective order. So they'd go in front of the judge, and that's a lot of moral support. So the advocate being with them and helping them walk through that process. I have been through court to sit on the jury. I have not been to court for anything else, but I'll tell you, even being on the jury, that was a experience all in itself. So to go in and be on the receiving end of that, I can't even imagine. So our advocates are here to help those individuals go through that so they don't have to do it alone. A lot of times individuals don't have a support system. So we want to make sure that we are that support system. We are here to help them and answer any questions that we can. Now, we're not lawyers, we're not attorneys, and we make that very clear. So we can't answer any questions about the law, but we're here to help them aside from that. So, and if they have children, sometimes they don't have daycare. So our advocates can sit with the children outside of the courtroom so that the individual can be in there with the judge and talk to the judge so they can try to get that protective order. Other services that we provide are financial assistance. So a lot of the donations that come into us from civic groups, from private individuals, we do provide financial assistance when someone wants to relocate. If someone needs gas cards to get to and from work because their abuser or their perpetrator, it was the breadwinner of the household, and has since taken all the money or has kind of just cut off their connection to the money, we can provide them financial assistance to help them so that they can continue to provide for their family. Other things are counseling. So with domestic violence, with any kind of intimate partner violence, there's a lot of trauma that comes with it for the victim as well as for the family. So for the children are a lot of times kind of left to the wayside. People tend to forget that the children see and hear a lot of what goes on in the home. So we provide that counseling service to the children as well. So that way the children can learn to cope and overcome everything that they have dealt with or learned and seen over the years. And that way they know that it's not okay. And we can try to do what we can to break that cycle of domestic violence. One of the main services that we provide is emergency shelter. So when it gets too tense, when it becomes too much, too unsafe for the individual to stay in their home, we do have an emergency shelter so that individuals can flee from that home and have somewhere safe to stay.
How do folks contact you if they find themselves in a situation that's dangerous for them? How do they reach out to you?
So we have a number of ways that people can reach out to us. So we do have a crisis line, and that number is 252-638-5995. We have our office that's on Glen Burnie, so 1333 South Glen Burnie. And our main office number is 252-638-4509. And they can call that Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And we are in the office. We always have advocates available in the office during that time. But our crisis line is 24/7, 365, and 366 on leap year. So there's always someone there to answer the crisis line. And then we also have our Facebook page, we have Instagram, and we have our website.
All right.
Amanda,
Yes.
I know as a nonprofit, funding is always an issue.
Yes, ma'am.
And I believe that you have a shop or store where people can take clothing and different items that you can sell to raise money. Or also, it seemed to me in the past, you also accepted little toiletries and things like that that could be given to the people there in the shelter, and they were always needed items. Is that correct?
Yes. So I will tell you, through the pandemic, when everyone else was hurting, the community just showed up and showed out in every possible way. When everyone should have been worrying about themselves, so to speak. They were worried about us. So they were making sure and calling us and saying, what do you need? How can we help? What do your clients need? And so, yes, we do take donations at our office, and we take donations also at our thrift store. So we do have a thrift store that helps bring in revenue so that we can continue to provide to the client. So any money that we make at our thrift store, that money goes right back into our clients. And they
Where
do
is
take
the thrift
donations.
store?
It's on News Boulevard, so 2509 News Boulevard. And they take by appointment, so they can't take donations every day because of volunteers. But if you give them a call, they'll be more than happy to set up an appointment to take those donations.
Yeah, and real quick, there's a couple comments for you, Amanda.
Yes.
You have our friend Brian Cardoza. Awesome to see Amanda here. And Rob says the mental health aspect of DV, domestic violence, is so important.
Yes,
And
definitely.
It sure is.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, we're so thankful that you're here, and you and your volunteers and your staff. Topa was on last year during the pandemic, well, still the pandemic,
Yes.
and the counseling, the what you see every day. I don't think the general public really, it's hard to grasp what you're seeing, and that must take a mental toll on you and your staff and the volunteers. And we thank you for everything that you do for our
Absolutely.
community. So.
Right.
And I hate to close this up, but we have our next.
I understand.
We would love
me.
to have you come back and update us. And
Definitely.
we will be in touch very soon. So.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me. And I would just say, please visit our website for anything else that we have going on.
All right. Well, great. Thank you, Amanda. And we are here for you. So.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. You have a great day.
You too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, they have a long list of things there. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's hard to. That's a tough job. That.
Yep.
But it's hard to get all that information within a 10-minute
Sure.
time period,
It's-
and another person, our dear friend Mitch, I haven't seen Mitch in a while, but is coming in, and he just another one of the so many nonprofits in our community that
all right. Well, Wendy's pushing buttons.
that have he has so much that he's been working on for years. So
Right. The director of Arts to End Genocide is his organization. And there he is.
Hey, Mitch, how are you?
Hello, welcome.
Okay. Needed to get all the technical stuff out of the way, but I'm in.
Okay.
I'm great. How are you all doing?
Good.
Good, good.
It's good to see you, Mitch. It's been too long. So
Well,
but,
it's good to see you all. I
yeah,
wish we could be doing it in person, but here we are.
soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yeah.
Well, you have an interesting event coming up that is an in-person event.
Well, yes, and we're a little bit nervous, but fingers crossed that we'll be able to make this happen. Just let me give you just a little bit of background, before I speak about the event. Arts to End Genocide, or ATAG, is a New Bern-based not-for-profit, and we focus on vulnerable children, trying to help them, primarily children in Africa. Right now, our focus has been on the street children in Bamako, Mali. Locally, we try to raise awareness of the problems down in Africa by working through the schools and the faith-based community here in New Bern. But we've got 6,000 street children in Bamako who have never had any health care. And we were very, very blessed to have gotten a grant from Rotary, the two local Rotaries in New Bern and Rotary International. And a few years ago, we opened a clinic in Bamako to treat the street children. And we see probably about 400 children a month, saving a lot of lives. At the start of COVID, and we were all told the importance of hand washing, but down there was just no way for the children to wash their hands. The only water that they had access to was the river water. So we raised some money and we actually got 60 portable hand washing stations. We added sinks to the outside of the clinic, and we also were making face masks for the children. Anyway, when we had all these portable hand washing stations, one of the places that we gave a lot of the stations to was the Fellagia IDP Camp. Fellagia Camp is a camp that has about 1,000 internally displaced people, and the camp is on a garbage dump. And the people there, including 500 children, are living under the most deplorable living conditions. And so we had established this relationship with the camp, and they reached out to us about a food insecurity issue. It was a lot of malnutrition. The only diet they have is rice and millet, and it was a real problem. And many problems at the camp. They were burning the garbage to try and make more space for the tents, so the children were coming down with all these respiratory illnesses. But when they reached out to us about the food insecurity, we thought that we could do some planting in the dumps. It turned out to be impossible. The soil is all contaminated. We realized we had to move these people. And so we were fortunate. We actually found 185 acres of land in a place called Santigula, which was donated by a wealthy Mali businessman. So the land is wonderful, but it's completely undeveloped. So we've got to put in boreholes. We've got to bring in shelters. We've got to have irrigation. Because we want to plant crops so that the people have more to eat. The rice and millet, we're going to be growing crops for their consumption. And also, one of the things that they told us in focus groups is they need some gainful employment. Well, there's a marketplace, which is only about a mile away. So we figure they're over surplus, they could sell at the market. So all of this, is wonderful. It's an expensive thing to do. And so we've been doing a lot of fundraising over the last year. And we're planning our annual fundraiser to help in this effort. The fundraiser is going to be an African jewelry making workshop. It's going to be on August 21st at the J. Murphy Smith Center on Middle Street. I'm sure most of you are familiar with where that is. It's a big gymnasium. So in the past, we've held shoemaking workshops there, and we used to get about 250 people for a workshop, but we really felt it was not safe during COVID to put 250 people in that center. So we cut it down. We're doing 2 sessions. We're saying 125 each. We're thinking maybe we should even scale it back a little bit and go to 100 each session. The sessions are going to be from 12:30 to 2 and from 2:30 to 4. It's actually free. And people ask me, you're trying to raise money. How are you doing this as a free workshop? Well, we're able to do this through the generosity of the wonderful sponsors, who've made this event possible. Both the faith-based community and a lot of the businesses, the hospital, a whole lot of wonderful organizations have provided the funding to make this a free event. So everybody who attends is going to get a little party bag, and in that bag are going to be all the elements that you need to make a bracelet and to make a pair of earrings. And I have some of, I don't know how well this is going to show, but these are some of the African trade bead bracelets. Let's see.
Nice.
That you'll be able to make. And as I said, you'll also be able to make earrings. And then we have finished bracelets, which will be for sale, and finished earrings. And you might notice chokers that even men can wear. So it's going to be a fun event. Yes, Wendy.
And
Yes.
sorry, I was muted.
You keep saying we, and can you expand on who we is?
When I say we, I'm talking about Arts to End Genocide, the foundation.
But is it local, or are there a large number of local people involved? Because I know this is something you've been doing for years.
Well, the board is all local, and we have a lot of local volunteers that are helping us put the event on. Faith Connection has really been a wonderful partner, and they're providing a lot of the personnel to make this happen.
It's incredible.
It
Mitch,
is.
how long have you've been doing this since what? At least 2010, 9, earlier?
Well, yeah, probably around there. I mean, it started when I was doing sculpture, and I was doing a piece that was themed in Africa. And in doing research in Africa, I came across the genocide that was happening down in Darfur, and found out that most people didn't know about it. It was happening under the radar. And so I created a sculptural exhibit. This was back in 2013. It played at the Bank of the Arts.
I remember.
And I had somebody
Yeah.
from the Save Darfur Coalition up in Washington come down to see it. And they said to me, Mitch, when we put on an event, usually 50 people come. But on opening night, we had 1,000 people that came to the Bank of the Arts. And they said, we want this to travel around the country. And it did. For many years, that show traveled around the country, playing at university art museums and Holocaust and human rights centers. And that's how I got involved in this, trying to help the folks down in Africa. And as I said, it was just raising awareness, but we've gone beyond that, where we are really making a difference. And I think the clinic is just a great example of that, the good that we've been able to do. And then we had our shoemaking project.
Mhm.
We made shoes for barefoot children, and all the people in New Bern were making shoes, which we were shipping. We actually shipped shoes down to 6 African countries. We worked in rural villages down in Africa, training the mothers to make shoes for their barefoot children. So I think one of the great messages, here we're this little New Bern organization, and we're having this major impact in Africa.
Yeah.
So my wife likes to call me the little engine that could. I just
You
keep saying,
are.
I think I can. We
I have one more
make these things happen.
You are.
Mitch, I just want to ask you one more thing. I know our Rotary Club has contributed to your project, but have you ever applied, or your group, to the International Foundation of Rotary?
And
Because
that's how we got the funding for the clinic in Bamako.
okay,
That was the 2 New Bern Rotaries, Rotary International and the local Bamako Rotary. Yeah, that's and Rotary is also one of our sponsors for this workshop.
If folks want to sign up for the workshop, how do they do that?
If they go to our website, artstoendgenocide.org, there you can register online, or you can call 212-481-4772. That's the ATAG number. I will be happy to register you.
All right, so that's coming up on the 21st.
On
Yeah.
the 21st, yes. And
Well-
I strongly suggest to pre-register. I know a lot of people, might think, well, we'll just show up, but because it's limited, I hate to turn people away, but I'm strongly suggesting that they pre-register.
All right.
All right. Well, Mitch, thank you so much for joining us. It's been too long, and I don't know if I'll be in town for the event, but I hope to see you soon. So, and thank you for all that you do. It's wonderful.
Well, thank you. And thank you all for hosting me.
You're awesome. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Mitch. Good to see you. Have a
Good to
great
see you
day.
all. You as well.
All right.
Mitch.
Bye-bye.
Someone else who's taken on a big project. That's
Wow.
great.
He is the little engine that could. He's
And he
been
has
doing-
been so dedicated. It's really absolutely marvelous that he's, just really taken this to heart. And I remember years ago with the sculpture and all, and he really did get a lot of community support. It was terrific.
Great.
it's a classic example of, like, before I moved to New Bern, I really had no, actually before I got out of the military, you know, I saw art and it's like, oh, that's pretty, but I did not realize that, you know, the impact that art has on society, you know, from music to what Mitch is doing to just everything.
Yes.
It's much more than just a pretty painting or something, you know what I mean? Something to wear. It's
feeling and need and message behind it.
Well, and I don't think art, you know, even cavemen drew on caves. I mean,
Right.
I think it's innate in our psyche. I mean, art is beauty, and you know,
It's
you
magical,
just have
yeah.
to have some in your life.
Mhm. Yeah, very true. Yeah.
Do you want to do your question one more time before we get out of that list?
Yes. Yeah, let's do the question real quick. It is, what was considered North Carolina's year without a summer? Whoever's watching, if you answer in the live stream here, you may win a prize. And let's get to the upcoming events real quick.
Real quick, okay. Art Walk we talked about on the 13th, a free family fly-in and movie night from 8 to 9 at the Havelock Tourist and Events Center. That's by the East Carolina Aviation Heritage Foundation. And also on the 13th, Footloose on the News summer concert series, the River Mist Band at 6:30 at Union Point Park. That's from Parks and Rec. And you can call them if you need to have more information.
And
Go ahead.
Yeah.
on the 13th and through the 15th, the complete works of Shakespeare abridged. Friday and Saturday, 7:30 p.m., Sunday, 2 p.m., New Bern Civic Theater, 252-633-0567 for tickets or more information. And on the 14th, our favorite project in the late summer, Stuff the Bus, 10 to 2 at Staples, New Bern. This is by Craven County Partners of Education. Darlene Brown heads us up, and we will be seeing Stuff the Bus. It'll be everywhere you can imagine for the next while. Great, great project. 252-514-6321.
All right.
And I just real quick, they're going to have vendors there, and Brian, who was watching earlier, 3-in-1 cookies. You got to try it. You got to. He has ice cream sandwiches too. He'll be there and Stuff the Bus. So you got to get out and have just come out for some fun. So, and we talked about the Eastern Carolina Pottery Festival.
Did that?
Travis Tritt. A lot of people were really in. You know, they've got tickets. I think Mari had tickets to go. That was supposed to be on the 15th. It's been rescheduled. Travis Tritt with Crawford and Power for October 15th. If you bought a ticket and want to know how to, you know, more information, visit newbernnow.com, and the information is on there. And I'm not sure if it's on the White Umbrella Group's website. So check out New Bern Now. I posted it last night. Yeah, and then the 20th through the 22nd is again the complete works of Shakespeare abridged. So,
all right, on the 21st, the Native Plants Tour at 10 a.m. at the Latham Whitehurst Nature Park, presented by Craven County Extension Office with assistance from North Carolina Master Gardeners, all those folks that know good things about gardens. 633-1477. On the 21st, live and local craft beer, food and music festival. And that's at the History Center, North Carolina History Center, starting at 5 o'clock. Give them a call, 639-3500.
On the 22nd, Paddles with Battles, Veterans Suicide Awareness Event is from noon to 5 at 110 East Street in Pollocksville at the boating access area. And this is being presented by the American Legion, Post 539.
All right. For all good music stuff, check out the New Bern Music Calendar, and they'll tell you everybody that's playing anywhere. You can find it. And then also go see the farmer's market. And this weekend, while you're at the farmer's market, walk across the street and look at the pottery.
That's right.
There you go. Yeah. And for all the events, check out newbernnow.com's community calendar. Just search for calendar in the search bar, or actually it's right in on any of the pages. So what else? Okay, the trivia question.
Trivia question.
What was considered North Carolina's year without a summer? I think we had an answer.
Should we have a drum roll?
98.
What's okay, Kathy, what did you say?
1898, just because it sounds like a good year.
Susan, any
No.
guesses? No? All right, let's see here. Peggy, she guessed 1816, and it is 1816. Okay, August 22nd of 1816, they had the heavy frost recorded in North Carolina. Can you imagine frost on August 22nd? And
Not in North Carolina.
yeah, so and the year 1816 is often referred to as the year without a summer because of the unusually cold weather during the spring and summer months. The bizarre and destructive weather was a result of massive amounts of volcanic dust being thrown into the atmosphere by the volcanic eruption in Indonesia of Mount Tambora. And that was in April, so following in August, that's what, so the atmosphere, the changes in the atmosphere, that's incredible. So,
Yeah.
It is.
All right.
So
It's incredible you
climate
came up
change
with
is
that
real.
question.
Yeah, it was a humdinger instantly, ding, 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 ding. You got an answer. So
And what did
Peggy,
they win?
a gift certificate to a local business, and I will be in touch with Peggy after the show. So
All right.
yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. This is
Okay.
great.
This was great. Thanks.
All right. Is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap. All right. We want you to send us your announcements, stories, and or events, and we'll add them to the calendar at the New Bern Now's website. Let us know if you'd like to be a guest or if you have any questions or suggestions by calling Wendy at 252-259-6853 or send an email to info@newbernnow.com. Video and audio of this will be uploaded to newbernnow.com, YouTube, iTunes, and wherever you listen to your podcasts. And you can also listen to the show on New Bern's News Talk radio station, WNOS 103.9 FM, by tuning in every Wednesday at 8 a.m. and then again at 5 p.m. So there we are. Thanks for listening, folks.
Thank you, Kathy
Another
and
great
Susan.
show.
This is awesome, and y'all have a great day, and we'll be in touch soon. And have a great day.
All
Have a
right.
great day.
Thank you all.
Bye. It's a wrap. Bye-bye.
Woo! Doo-doo-doo. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.